Okay, class number 9. We're going to look at some nouns and adjectives. This is actually a really good presentation of it, and it's a little bit more thorough than what I gave you when we went through the blue book, so this is worth paying attention to. Nouns and adjectives are inflected. That means kind of they change form according to gender, number, and state. Of these categories, gender, masculine and feminine, and number, singular and plural, correspond to the same features of other languages. So it's, masculine, feminine, singular, plural, just like any other language. The three states, absolute, emphatic, and construct, are a feature of Aramaic and require some explanation. So let's go through each of these states of nouns and adjectives. For nouns, the absolute state is the most basic form, although in Syriac it is used only in a few constructions, see below. So the most basic form doesn't mean the standard. It means the most contracted, the smallest form. Most of the time, including in dictionary entries, a noun is found in the emphatic state, which almost always has an alab, or a feminine a tau alab. So the way you learned the noun in Chaldean, where masculine nouns often usually end in a and feminine nouns usually end in tau alab, that is the case in the emphatic state. So the noun that you've known, from Chaldean is the emphatic state noun. That's the basic sort of form of the noun. Okay. In older Aramaic, this ending had the sense of a definite article, but that has been lost in Syriac. This is a very interesting sentence. So in older Aramaic, when there was a noun that ended in an a or a ta, that meant the. So Melik or Mlech was king, Melka was the king in a very old Aramaic. That does not exist anymore in Syriac. Okay. But he's just kind of explaining where the state came from. So this beita, a noun in the emphatic state, can mean either a house or the house. You know that now. So in the current Syriac, just like in Chaldean actually, beita or betha in Chaldean can mean a house or the house. Okay, so that's the emphatic state. He hasn't explained what the absolute state means yet. The emphatic state is the state you already know. The construct state, which is the third one, is a form of the noun that can be used directly before or another noun to make a genitive. You already know this. I already went through this in the blue book. The construct state is where you trim the elep from the end and you get rid of the deleth of the next word, and it means of. That's what the genitive means. So the construct of beta is beth. So beth alaha means house of God. So beta de alaha becomes beth alaha. So that's called the construct state. So the emphatic state is what you already know, the regular noun. The construct state means of, house of. The construct state, too, is relatively little used in Syriac. I don't agree with that. I think you see it pretty often. The genitive being more usually expressed with deleth. Is deleth more common than the construct? Yeah, maybe. I guess the deleth is more common. For adjectives, both the absolute and emphatic states are used. The absolute when an adjective is in the predicate, the emphatic when it is attributive. You already know this. He's saying it in a kind of nerdy way. You know that when an adjective is in the normal state, Shapira, meaning beautiful. So Beitha Shapira, that's the emphatic state. So the emphatic is when it's attributive. So when you're using an adjective to describe something, you use the emphatic state. So you say Shapira. When you want to say the house is beautiful, you say Shapir. You get rid of the a at the end. So that's the absolute state. If you want to say the house is, you say Shapir beta or Shapir u. You want to use the copula beta. So that's the adjective. Inflection, the nouns and adjectives. So now, just to like make it clear, he's described what the emphatic state is. It's just the normal usage. He's described the construct. He actually hasn't described still what the absolute state is. Long story short, it's used in only a few constructions. I'm assuming he's going to give some examples below. So the absolute state is kind of rare, but you'll see how it's used soon. Inflection, as in what form or what pattern do these take? The nouns and adjectives dealt with in the rest of this lesson are those in which the inflection involves only endings does not change the pattern of vowels in the stem. Other nouns and adjectives with variable vowels are treated in chapters 9 to 12. So there's going to be different kind of things that change within the noun or the adjective themselves, like vowels. I call it vowel movement. I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I think just kind of pay attention to the patterns. Maybe we'll read through these chapters together. We'll see. The normal inflectional endings attached to both nouns and adjectives are the following. Here we go. Masculine singular. The absolute masculine singular ends, absolute state ends in nothing. It's just the root. The emphatic ends in a, as you know. The construct also ends in nothing. So the absolute and construct state both look the same in the masculine singular. Masculine plural absolute ends in een. You'll see there's taween. You're going to see an example down here. The emphatic is so a and you already know. And here you also know ta and atha. So you already know the feminine ends in a ta, and the feminine plural is atha or tatha. Okay. Masculine plural absolute state is een. The masculine plural construct state is a. So when you want to say the I don't know, the houses of something, Beitei Melka or something like that. Feminine singular absolute state is a. You already saw that in the blue book. And then an for plural. Again, giving examples of this will help make it clear. And then the construct state, ath and ath. Again, you've seen this before, but let's go over it again. In the feminine singular emphatic, the tau, is a tau, being a softenable letter, is pronounced soft after a vowel, but also sometimes after a consonant. Don't worry about the softening. For some general rules, see Appendix A, I don't care. It is best to remember individual nouns as they are met. Attaching the endings to the adjective tau, good, we have. So now finally the guy gives us some examples. I kind of wish you did that first instead of giving the endings. So absolute state of the word tau, the adjective tau. If you want to just describe something as good, this is, sorry, not describe. If you want to affirm that it is good, tau. So tau el modayu el maria. It is good to give thanks to the Lord. Okay, tau. If you want to say the Lord, the good Lord, mara tawa. So that's the emphatic state of the adjective. So the emphatic state of the adjective is descriptive. I wish you would have just called this descriptive. The absolute state is affirmative. The construct state, if you want to say the good man of the city, tau mvita. So tawa demvita, tau mvita. Plural, if you want to go to the absolute state of the plural, tawin. So tawin in non, gaure demvita. Good are the men of the city. Tawin in non, good are. Gaure tawe, good men. That's the emphatic state. Gaure tawe. Tawe, the construct state, tawe, the good men of the city. Tawe vita. Feminine, it's annoying, I pointed this out before. The feminine absolute, tawa, is exactly the same as the masculine emphatic, tawa. So it was just annoying. So, tawai meliktha. Good is the queen. Tawai, the copula, tawai meliktha. Tawan melkatha. So good are the queens. Tauta and tawatha, you already know. It's just the emphatic state. Tawath, so the good woman of the house. Tawath beta. And then the good women is tawath beta. So just this vowel is different. And then you have the siame. So this is, so I'm going to repeat. The absolute state of the adjective is when it is affirming something. The emphatic state of the adjective is when it's describing something. The construct state of the adjective is when it's becoming a noun and it is expressing of the good person of something. Note that the plural forms of the adjectives all take siame except the masculine absolute. Don't worry about siame. Okay. Examples of nouns. So now he's going to give you a noun in these same states. Kthawa and knushta for the feminine. So this means synagogue or assembly in all three states. So the absolute state of kthau, does he told you what the absolute state is? Where does he do that, man? Gotta do it earlier. Huh. Well, I'm going to tell you what the absolute state is now, and if he repeats it, that's fine. Okay. So the absolute state, this is a little bit confusing. Make a note of this. Take notes and think about it. The absolute state of the adjective is affirming something. Tau melka, the king is good. The absolute state of a noun is not like that. It means something different. The absolute state of the noun is used in mainly two circumstances. One, with numbers. So if you want to say one book, you would say had kthau. You can also say had kthawa, but you would say had kthau as well. Tren kthawin. So two books, you use the absolute state with a number and with the word kul. So the two most common places that you're going to see an absolute state noun is with numbers and with the word kul, which means all. So if you want to say all the books, you could say kul kthawe, but more maybe correctly, you would say kul kthawin. That's the absolute state of the noun. Again, the absolute state of the adjective is affirming something. I wish they named them different things. These grammarians give names according to form, not according to meaning. So because these have the same form, they're giving them the same name. They don't mean the same thing. So I wish they would have had different names, but whatever. Nobody's perfect. So anyway, the form is the same. So had kthau, one book. Kul kthawin, terten kthawin, two books kthawin. Hada knusha, one assembly. So the tau is deleted here. This is the word is knushta. You delete the tau to make the feminine absolute. Hada knusha. Kul knushan. Kul knushan. All synagogues. Kul knushan. Use the absolute state. The emphatic is exactly what you know. Kthawa, kthawe. Knushta, knushatha. That's very normal. Don't worry about that. One thing you know, thank God. The construct state, the book of, let me say the book of the king. The king has a lot of stuff. The book of the king is Kthau Melka. So Kthawa Dmelka becomes Kthau Melka. The books of the king, Kthawe Dmelka, becomes Kthawe Melka. Kthawe Melka. The assembly of the synagogue of the city, Knushta Damvita, becomes Knushath Mvita. Knushath Mvita, so feminine, that's how it works. And the assemblies or the synagogues of the city is Knushath Mvita. Why is it Knushath? Because it's short for Knushatha. Knushatha Damvita becomes Knushath Mvita. So these are really close. This is Knushath with a pthaha. This is Knushath with a skapa. Okay, that's this. I will point these out as they come along in the reading, but this is really important to memorize this and this. If you need to kind of repeat this chapter and watch this video over and over again until you get the difference between an absolute adjective and an absolute noun, please feel free to do so. It's confusing because they're using the same words and because they have the same form, but they really are two different kind of monsters. Okay. A few nouns are more or less indeclinable, notably foreign words like evangelion. So evangelion is a Greek word. It's not going to do this. You're just not going to see these different forms of evangelion. It's just going to be this word no matter what. So that's a little bit easier. The plurals of these words have to be learned individually. So you just have to, the irregular plurals, you just have to learn them as they come along. Usage. Oh, now he's finally explaining what the hell's going on. Okay. Usage. An adjective that is attributive goes after the noun and agrees with it in gender, number, and state, usually emphatic. Thus, Melka Tawa, a good king. You know that. Shlihe Qadishe, the holy apostles. You know that. Great. An adjective that is in the predicate will be in the absolute state. Finally. So the adjective that is in the absolute state is a predicate, meaning it is affirming something is true. It's not just describing it. Agreeing again in number and gender. Such adjectives can take inclusive pronouns in the same way as nouns. Thus, ta'u melka. Ta'u melka. So it's the absolute state, ta'u. You can use this copula, ta'u melka. The king is good. Or you can just say ta'u melka. It means the same thing. You don't even need the u. Ta'u melka or tam. Why would you use this over this? It doesn't matter. It's just style. Maybe you need an extra syllable for a poem you're writing. It means the same thing. Addishin, innon shlihe. So you see, they used the absolute state. Addishin, tawin is the absolute state. Addishin innon, holy are the apostles. The apostles are holy. Or addishin shlihe means the same thing. An adjective alone in the emphatic state is the same as a noun. Bisha, so an adjective in the emphatic state, so if you say Bisha can mean, so Gaura Bisha can mean an evil man, but just Bisha by itself is the evil one. Mitha can mean dead, but can also mean a dead person. Mithe is the dead people. Qadisha can mean holy, but it can also mean a saint. Qadishe can mean, you can describe Gaure Qadishe, holy men, but if you just say Qadishe by itself, just take the adjective by itself, it becomes a noun. Qadishe means the saints. So all adjectives work that way. Where if you take the adjective in the emphatic state, it turns into a noun by itself, an adjective alone, okay? Nouns, oh, finally, okay. What a guy, okay. Nouns in the absolute state are used in three main constructions. After numbers, like I said, after the words kul and dla. Oh, okay. I guess it's used well also with dla. And in some set phrases, especially where the noun is repeated. So other, basically. So here's the absolute state of the noun. Kul mvina. So mvina, so it's mvita in the absolute state because it's feminine, becomes mvina. Okay, right here. Absolute state of the noun. Mvina. So where am I? Kul mvina. Every city, using the absolute state of mvita. Tren kthawin. So kthawe becomes kthawin after a number, because it's the absolute state. Kep al kep. Stone upon stone. All right, that's cute. So I guess poetically it can be used. Kep al kep. Kepa al kepa becomes kep al kep. That's the absolute state. Dla lishan. Without language. So dla, so the word dla, I didn't say this earlier. The word dla also takes the absolute state. Without dla, lishan, without language. I guess that would mean like a barbarian or something like that. Okay. Examples of phrases using the construct state. Bnei mvita, the sons of the city. So bra has this irregular absolute. So bra is son. Bnei is the construct state of bra. Bra is son. Bnei is sons of. So bra, so let me actually work through this. Bra is son. The plural of bra is irregular. It's bneiya. Bneiya is the emphatic plural of bra. The construct state of bneiya is bnei. So the sons, bnei damvit, bnei bnita is the son, is bneiya damvita, the sons of the city, bnei vita, which just means the people of the city. Resh deira is the construct state of resha deira, becomes resh deira, the head of the monastery or the abbot. Some feminine nouns look and are inflected as if they were masculine. So kepa, technically, the word kepa is feminine, plural kepe. This is notably the case with parts of the body that are in pairs. We already know this from Chaldean. For example, either. Some other feminine nouns look masculine just in the plural. Miltha, the word for word miltha is feminine. It has an irregular plural, mille. Miltha, it's not millatha, it's mille. Just an irregular plural, just learn that word. Remember, however, that any adjective modifying a feminine noun must also be feminine. So nishe, so atha is singular, nishe is women, plural. You have to say nishe qaddishatha. Even though it looks masculine, it has to take a feminine adjective, qaddishatha, holy women. All right? It's kind of a hard chapter. You might want to listen to this again. Let's look at the vocab. Hand is either. It's a feminine noun, it's telling you. Rab is great. The feminine absolute state is Rab. So he's giving you the absolute state of great. So the absolute state is Rab. The emphatic state is Rabba, great or big. Resha is a head or a chief. It could be also the head of the body. Miltha is word. The plural is mille. You saw that. Tau is good. So tau or tawa in the emphatic state. La is not. La means without. Shliha is apostle. Evangelion is the gospel. Oada is a work or a deed, or could just mean a thing. Kin is just, as in righteous. Kin. And then the emphatic state of that would be kana. So Yosip kana, Joseph the just. Kin. Sau is old, or sawa, elderly, right? Shapir, Shapira, beautiful or fine. Bish is evil, Bish or Bisha. Sharir, Sharira is true. Qaddish, Qaddisha is holy. So what I'm doing is I'm reading the absolute state, Qaddish, and then giving you the emphatic state, Qaddisha, with all of these. Hakim, Hakima, wise. Brich, Bricha, blessed, blessed, whatever. Mith, Mitha, dead. Nuia is a noun, prophet. Kepa, stone. It happens to be feminine. So if you want to say a large stone, you say Kepa Rabtha. And if you want to say the stone is big, you say Rabbai Kepa, because Rabba is the feminine singular absolute. Rabbai. Rabba Kepa or Rabbahi Kepa. Translated in English, let me read these for you. Gaura Sawa. Saw, Gaura. Let me do this for you. Gaura Sawa, an old man, because it's in the emphatic state. Saw Gaura, the man is old, because it's in the absolute state of the adjective. So the man is old, and that's what this form means. Mvita Brechta, Brichai Mvita. You translate that. Malpane Suryaye, Evangelion Qaddisha, Mithin Nuiye. I'm just going to give you a hint. This is in the absolute state. So you translate it as they are something. Okay. Tawin Usharirin Hugdane D'alaha. Tawin Usharirin Hugdane D'alaha. Again, the absolute state. Oh, let's look at this note. In the vocabularies from now on, adjectives appear in the masculine absolute state and nouns in the emphatic. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Talmide Hnan or Talmide Nan, Dmushe, Ula, ادبيشة. تلميذة نن دموشة ولا ادبيشة. This brings together a lot of the stuff in this chapter. You know what? Let me just translate this one for you because it might help you kind of get your footing. تلميذة حنان. We are the disciples, the Moshe of Moses, ula dbisha, and not of the evil one. This is an adjective in the emphatic state used alone. So it's evil, but it's the evil one because it turns into a noun when it's used like this. We are the disciples of Moses and not of the evil one. Malpana. Einau Pugdana Rabba Bna Mosa. Should be able to do that. Einau Pugdana Rabba Bna Mosa. This means Malpana is saying, that's what that colon is, the sort of. Oh, actually, sorry. They're addressing someone as Malpana. So somebody, I think this is a quote from the Bible. It's like addressing Jesus as Malpana. Brichu kul awad tao. Brichu kul awad tao. A little bit tricky. Pay attention to this. I'm going to give you a hint. This is the construct state. Okay. Inna shliha sharira na. It's pretty easy. Okay. Translate these in Syriac. I think it's a good idea. Learn the stuff in the chapter. And the next time, what do we got? The suffixes. You already know this, but it'll be good to review it here. All right. Good luck.